So come on into this group repatterning session if you're not already here. Thank you if you're here. Can you get a glass of water if you haven't already done so, please? You're just going to need a few sips through this session, but you'll need those when they come up. So I'm just going to get started talking for a few minutes while people are getting settled. I'll give you the quick 5-minute story on me, and maybe less than 5 minutes, we'll see. Some of you know me as clients of mine and friends of mine, so you know what repatterning is about. Everyone's going to shift with me today. So this isn't just a workshop. You're actually going to have an energetic shift with me today by the time we're done here. So that'll be a wonderful experience for everyone involved. We're going to co-create a session together. So what that involves is we're going to find out what our issues around transforming or transforming together are. Then we're going to find out what our intention is. And we're going to get feedback from everyone on this information. What I work on is the level of resonance. So I'm actually going to shift everyone's resonance with the topic that we come up with the information we come up with. I learned repatterning over 15 years ago in New York. At the time I lived in Toronto, and I'm glad I don't anymore. It's very nice, but I'm very glad to be in BC. I did what a lot of people in their life do. I did a huge change when I moved from Toronto to Cherryville. I opened a retreat center there with my ex-husband. And the wonderful part of it was that it all didn't work out. And that sounds terrible, but really what it was for me was this amazing, chaotic experience that led to me working on myself, using repatterning through this sort of unexpected things that came up once I moved to Cherryville. And I came out of that process with a lot of clarity about my purpose, which is to help people shift and to help people enjoy their lives more every day. So I'm teaching healing modalities, I teach muscle checking, and I do these group and individual repatterning sessions. And I'm one of the only Canadians that does that, so I'm very proud to be the roving repatterner here in the west of Canada. I get out to Alberta and the coast and all over the place, and I rove around a lot, so that's why I know quite a few of you, even if you're not from here. I know people from Alberta here. So repatterning, what we're going to do to start that is, the first thing we're going to do is ask permission. Can I have permission to muscle check on your behalf? Yes. Okay, good. Everyone said yes to that. If you didn't say yes, you're basically not part of the session. So, and that's okay too, you can just stay and observe the rest of this. You can watch it shit. You don't want to take part. So the people that aren't physically present have also done the same thing. There's a half a dozen people that have contacted me on my phone and things today saying, oh, that's right, you're doing a group session, can I proxy in? So everyone's going to be proxied into this session today. What that means is, and I wrote a little bit about it in the Questor's journal if you haven't had a chance to read that, proxying in just means that because you've given me permission, your energetic system's part of our group session today. So what's going to happen is that you are like a computer in a database. So it's like everyone in the room is networked computers. And all that information is available, and we're going to access it all. And so instead of me being a person who changes things by saying, this is what I think we should do, on a quantum level, what I'm going to do is allow everyone to lead me. So your systems are going to lead me into this session. All the specifics and everything we do will be directed by you. And that's what I love about the quantum world, is that there's an unlimited possibility if I allow that person or that group or whoever it is to lead me, anything can happen. A little bit at the end, a few quick stories if I have a chance. Now, the next thing I want to do just to start the session is just to set an intention. So just take a breath. Just take a moment. I'm setting an intention that whatever is in everyone's highest and best interest comes up here today. Everyone, including everyone in the room and the people that have proxied in. So whatever is in everyone's highest best interest comes up, and if there's any angels or guides we need, they can be present for us now. And we're completely safe and grounded and protected by white light at this time, throughout our session, and during integration of our session. Okay, thank you. Two things affect the accuracy of muscle checking: crossing the midline of the body and water. So if you're sitting like this or like this, you sit more like this. So basically just uncross your legs. That's mostly what it's about for most people. If you can get out of the habit just for the next hour, uncross your ankles and your legs, because again, crossing the midline of the body can affect the accuracy of this checking. I do something called muscle checking, which is a little different than testing. With testing, you probably know you resist. I have a little bit of shoulder issue, a lot of people do, so I don't actually test anyone. Checking is a little simpler. It's looking for less information. It's just looking for a yes, no answer. So I'm going to check using my hand, and I'm also going to find out who in the audience is going to represent everyone, and we're going to double check everything on that person's arm. So, but let's just start with identifying what we're working on. The topic chosen by Questers was transform together. So what I'd like to hear from people at this point is a few ideas around what you'd like to transform, or what limitations you might experience in terms of transformation. Because what we're going to do is identify what we might want to pull energy or resonance out of and what we can shift it into, which will be our intention that we form next. So who can share something around the issue of transformation in their lives, how they find what obstacles or what challenges or what limitations they experience? Because we're going to identify what we have in common around those issues. John?
Busyness.
Busyness, okay. So you're too busy to sort of focus on your own transformation sometime, right? Yeah. Do you think that would involve balance? It's hard to find the balance too, yeah? So busyness, finding balance, okay. Who else has their hand up?
Fear of change or instability.
Fear of change, oh yeah, okay. I find that if I summed up what I do in one sentence, it would be helping people through transition. Because when we're in a transition, we often resonate with what we've just left. We resonate with the issues of the challenges that we've just been working our way out of, if it's a marriage, or if it's a business, or if it's a change in career or a health issue, you're in a transition. So that's really all shifting is, shifting your energy from whatever is challenging into what you want. That's what shifting really is all about. So yeah, fear of change, that's a very classic one in terms of transformation. Theo?
The belief in competition.
Competition.
That be survival.
Survival.
Could you repeat that?
What I've come up with so far, the challenges we identify are busyness, finding balance, fear of change, competition, and a belief about survival. Was that what that was?
Belief in competition.
Pardon me? A belief in competition, right? So all we're doing is identifying at this point what we all have in common around these issues. So who else?
Fear of making mistakes.
Okay. All right, fear of making mistakes. Anything else to vote for something? Yes, in the back.
Finding new choices out there that they have to
Finding new options or something?
goals, sort of
Like new directions, perhaps.
strategies.
Strategies? Okay. So I think we've probably got some information here that I can make up a little summary of this, but I'm going to muscle check. Now before I muscle check, I'm going to get you to have a glass of water, or a sip of water, not a glass of water. If you don't have water, there's a water station set up in the back for you, and why are we drinking water?
No, one more.
Oh, okay, one more, sorry.
I don't know what's on the other side of the transformation.
Fear of the unknown.
Of the unknown,
Yes.
so fear of change and the unknown, okay. So why am I asking you to drink water right now? You probably are not used to that with muscle testing or checking. It's because the information that I'm going to get is from our nervous systems. It's electrically based, the nervous system. So every time you have that sip of water, it instantly clears that channel of information. So if you want to have an accurate check, if you want someone who's checking you and you're both getting checked, both of you ideally would drink water, especially the person receiving the checking. It just clears your information channel, makes it super accurate in the moment. About 98% of sessions I ever do, I'll get a moment in the session where the response doesn't make sense. It's a yes instead of a no. That person drinks water, instant change in their response, every time. So it's a very powerful, simple way to make your muscle checking accurate, is just have a sip of water right before you check. Even have a whole glass of water right before you check if you like, so. Okay, so now if everyone's done that, and if your ankles are crossed, did you cross your ankles? Do you want to hold it?
Question, would this be a challenge if we were thinking and believing that change or shifting is uncomfortable, hard, rather than the belief that change or shift would be embraced?
So right? To sum it up. All right, so I've got a little page here of these notes, and I'm just going to muscle check using my hand, so I either get a strong or a weak response. When I teach muscle checking in groups, I actually should teach this one, on, off, on, off. I do the one-handed one, so this is a little tricky. I would recommend you trying to learn this one, but all I'm getting is a strong or weak response based on this finger. So all you do is muscle checking is you just program a muscle to answer the way you want it to. And so I've taught this finger to be strong or weak. Suki, try it. Suki, try it. Okay, so the primary problem for everyone, including the people proxied in, is around busyness, around finding balance, around fear. And it's fear of the unknown, a belief. So then I think we have a few negative beliefs that we've come up with. Negative belief about change is hard, I have to survive, I have to compete. Mistakes, yeah, that's in there. Finding new directions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just make this into a little statement. And if you don't 100% believe this, it's all right, because basically everyone's going to get a statement that we're going to shift anyway. So just some information. I'm going to just take a moment and make this into a sentence, and then you can see what you think of it. Just take a breath while I do this, if you have underneath this. I sometimes have a fear of change and the unknown. Oh, and we're going to be writing I'm going to go into the Meridian system to find out some information, so I'm just going to get my lovely assistant here to hand out the sheets that you could write on. There's also pens at the front if you don't have a pen to write with, so feel free to come up and grab a pen. And there's an arm in the audience. Fear of loss, right? You can include that? Okay. All right, so I think we've probably gathered enough out of the problem section. I'm just going to create this statement now, and if anyone has any questions, if they could hold those to the end. I don't have too much time for this group session. I usually take about 2 hours to do one. So I'm going to condense it all really quickly into this for you, so you can have a taste of repatterning. Now, when you get that sheet, you can write this problem down if you want to or not. You're going to shift it anyway, so you're not going to really relate to it the same way once we're done with it. But some people like to look at the statement and just refer back to it. So I'll read it out to you all in a few minutes. I'm almost there. I sometimes have the fear of change. Okay, so let's see what everyone thinks about this challenge that I think that we all have in common. So the statement that I've come up with all those words in one paragraph is, I sometimes have a fear of change and loss and the unknown, and I falsely believe that change is hard and I have to compete to survive, and I can find it hard when I make mistakes and to find new strategies. So, can everyone relate to that in some way, that statement? I'll read it again. This is basically what we all have in common around transformation. Now, if you don't have a chance to jot this down, you can catch up with me afterwards and I'll dictate the problem to you. But I'm just going to say it one more time. I sometimes have a fear of change and loss and the unknown, and I falsely believe that change is hard and I have to compete to survive. And I can find it hard making mistakes and finding new strategies. Okay, so I'm going to muscle check who is the proxy. Who do I embarrass and bring up to the front that's going to represent you all? So the ideal proxy in the room is someone from this half of the room and someone from this half. Okay, the ideal proxy to represent everyone in the group is in the back row, someone there, someone here in this row. So it's someone from this row, that second row. Okay, the ideal proxy is in the second row. It's this person, that person. Okay. Okay, so everyone have a sip of water? I just want to confirm this. What did I just do? I did a zip up. So let me show you this real quickly. I usually like to teach healing modalities in my group sessions. I won't have time to teach you stuff, but I'll quickly teach you this one because it's so fast. A zip up is a Chinese thing. All I did was, with my palm of my hand, I ran it up the front of my body. It's like a quick reset. Once you're zipped up, you can feel it. Zip-ups are great reset. If you see something on TV where someone's murdered on TV, you can zip up. If someone cuts you off in traffic, or if you have a momentary sort of shock or anything that upsets you, you can zip up yourself. And you can also tell the difference between zipping up and zipping down. Some people try and zip people down, they'll go, everyone be quiet, sit down. They're zipping you down when they do that. So what you want to do is zip people up. You can do it at a distance. It's a beneficial thing, so you don't have to even ask permission. You can zip each other up, you can zip yourself up. And just don't bring your hand back down, because then you zip yourself back down again. So that's a zip up. I love teaching healing modalities, especially quick ones that you can just do like that and have a nice benefit for yourself. So what I was doing zip up for was just to have a quick reset for us to muscle check. I was confirming that ideal proxy representative is this gentleman, it's Roy. Is it Roy? Is that your name? Roger, come on up, Roger. Oh no! I don't bite, don't worry. We're just going to use his arm. So we're going to use Roger to confirm our information. Have a seat, thank you very much. Okay, Roger, just bring your arm up like this for me. Alright, meet my touch. So meet my touch, show me a strong response. There we go. And let your arm go, relax it. Alright, take a breath. Okay, bring your arm up. And meet my touch. And let your arm go. Okay. So all I did was program his shoulder to give me an on-off response. Very simple. So there's no resistance involved, and all he's going to do is he's going to find that his arm is going to hang out there or it's going to fall down. That's all. And don't worry, it'll work perfectly. The ideal proxy, because that's what the question was. So you're the ideal one first. Now, the whole thing is you need your water for this too. I apologize, I should mention that. Could someone? You came for the washroom, sorry. Let's all have a quick sip of water. Just for accuracy. So I'm going to get Roger to repeat our problem and just to confirm our check on that. Okay. All right, so Roger said, you don't need your glasses, it's okay, I'll dictate to you. I sometimes have a fear of change.
I sometimes have a fear of change.
And loss.
And loss.
And the unknown.
And the unknown.
I can falsely believe that change is hard.
That change is hard.
And I have to compete.
And I have to compete.
To survive.
To survive.
I can find. It hard making mistakes. It's hard when I make a mistake.
It's hard when I make a mistake.
And it's hard to find new strategies.
And it's hard to find new strategies.
Okay. All right, bring your arm up and just be neutral. Bring it up to the top, please. And just up here. Yeah, okay, just relax. Just be neutral. Okay. So I'm getting a strong response is what we expect. I would expect him to be strong or resonate. So thank you, Roger. Good job, good arm. We're going to see the opposite in a minute because we're also going to identify our intention now. And then his arm will be weak. I shouldn't tell you that. His arm will be weak for that. So you'll see the difference. He's just a confirmation. I can do the whole session without touching anyone, just using my hand. I can do that on the phone or on Skype. But I like to use a representative for group sessions so everyone can see what happens in a personal session. So this is what you would experience in person with me. I use your arm so you can feel the difference between your resonance at the beginning of the session and then the end where you shift. So now we're going to go into the next question, which is what would you like, instead of these challenges around transformation where you find it fearful to change and sometimes you believe things that aren't true around change, about surviving and competition, etc. So what would you like to have that would support transformation for you? Yes?
Ease and trust.
Ease and trust. Beautiful. Love those two words. Very nice, thank you. Who else wants to spit something out? There you go.
Joy.
Joy.
Creativity.
Creativity. Thank you.
Confidence.
Yes.
I embrace change and transformation.
Embrace it. Nice. Acceptance. It's one of my favorite words ever.
Trust.
Yeah, trust again. Lovely. Trust.
Peace.
Peace.
Love.
Love. And awareness and love. Okay. moment, I'm gonna make that into a paragraph for us. And then this is the paragraph we will write on those sheets, if you have a sheet. If you ran out before they had to. And you just write it anywhere you like on the front, usually at the bottom, people have space there. So, you can also have a sip of water. We're about to check this next one, and that can serve as our water for that. So, what I got so far is I have all the confidence, trust, and awareness I need to accept and embrace the changes that arise in my life. I respond with love, peace, and joy as, let's see, just got one word left to put in here. And creativity. That sounds nice, eh? I respond with love, peace. I respond with love and creativity and enjoy more peace and joy in my transformation. Transformations. Okay, I think I got all the words in there. This is my part of the job here. What do you think of this statement? And you can start to jot it down if you can keep up. I'll say this one slower so I can dictate to you. I'm just going to confirm this statement is complete, it's optimal. I need to adjust it in some way. This is an optimal statement for everyone, okay? I have all the confidence, trust, and awareness I need to accept and embrace the changes that arise in my life. I respond with love and creativity and enjoy more peace and joy in my transformations now. Yeah. Sound good? Do you want that? Yeah. Okay, good. I'll slow down. You can write this one down. I have all the confidence. So you can just write that down. I have all the confidence, comma, trust, and awareness I need. I have all the confidence, comma, trust, and awareness I need to accept and embrace the changes that arise in my life. Period. I need awareness I need to accept and embrace the changes that arise in my life. Period. I respond with love and creativity, and I enjoy more peace and joy in my transformations now. I'll read it one more time. If you didn't quite catch it, I can also catch up later, because again, I have to kind of do this in twice the time that I normally have. I have all the confidence, trust, and awareness I need to accept and embrace the changes that arise in my life. I respond with love and creativity, and I enjoy more peace and joy in my transformations now. So we're going to muscle check this now on our proxy, who's of course representing you up here, doing a great job, Brendan. And let's have a sip and we'll check this next statement. Just remind you to uncross if you've crossed your ankles by accident. And we can say this one together because it's positive. So say, I have all the confidence.
I have all the confidence.
Trust and awareness I need.
Trust and awareness I need.
To accept and embrace.
To accept and embrace.
The changes that arise in my life.
The changes that arise in my life.
I respond with love.
I respond with love.
And creativity.
And creativity.
And I enjoy.
And I enjoy.
More peace and joy.
More peace and joy.
In my transformations now.
In my transformations now.
You know what? And just be neutral. Do whatever it wants to do. Okay. Does it feel weak now? Yeah, it's moving a little bit. Okay. So just see if you can tune into the idea of just being neutral. I know it's hard and you're on the spot here, but I could feel it move, and that's basically what we're looking for. I usually allow extra time for a first session so people can get just used to this feeling of their arm is strong, their arm is weak. So it's a bit of a challenge for Roger just to do that instantly for us now. But what I experienced when I touched his arm is his arm moved about an inch, and then it stopped. And then, so basically your arm will always work with applied kinesiology or muscle checking. It's just your mind will try to stop it and go, why is my arm? Why? I'm reading something to the microphone. Anyway, moving on. So that's what we expected, was a weak response. And what that means is we resonate with our challenges and not the intention. So that's really what's going to lead us into our session now. And what I'm going to do to find out a little more information is to go specifically into one of my repatterning books, which is the Meridian Five Element book. So we're going to get a couple of statements that, again, collectively represent what everyone would like to have more energy for or shift energy out of. So I can do repatternings on many different topics. One thing I did want to mention when I was in Joy's workshop this morning was that I work on people's vision. I do repatternings for eyesight. I have for over 15 years. And I had a nice talk with her later, because what I find is that even people whose shift in their eyes are better, they'll really have this issue about wearing their glasses afterwards. They have a habit of doing it, and that will actually take away from their results that they get with me when their eyes improve. I improved my eyes 10 years ago, and I haven't lost that improvement. But I do know those exercises and do those in my life, and I'm careful with my eyes. So I think it'd be really nice to work with Joy, because I can refer clients to her that have shifted their eyes, and the same thing back and forth, and we can work together. But now I'm in the Meridian Five Element book. I'm in this book a lot. A lot of people end up needing balance in these 5 elements. That little picture, if you have that piece of paper, just shows the Koshan cycle, which is the 5 elements. So the Chinese way of looking at things goes back over 4,000 years: wood, fire, metal, earth, and water. They all have a relationship to each other, and that's what we're going to find out right now. What does everyone in this group have in common in terms of these 5 elements relating to transformation? So that's why I'm going into this particular book. First statement needed for everyone in the group is an element. No, it's a meridian, and it's wood. It's fire element. So that's the first element we're going to go into. I'm going to find out some information about the fire element for all of us. All right, so what we need from fire is heart meridian. Triple heater. Okay, so I'm getting the statement from the triple heater meridian, and it's going to be something that we all want, something that's in balance with. So that statement is triple heater statements: physical, emotional quality, mental spirit, relationship quality. Okay, so there are going to be coherent and non-coherent statements that come up here. A lot of you probably know what coherent and non-coherent means, but in a simple way to explain that is positive and negative. It's not really how it works on a quantum level, but a quick answer for what that is. The statement we need now is a coherent one. So this one will sound positive. It's something that everyone would like a bit more energy for. So the optimal statement as a relationship is... Okay, the statement I'm getting from the fire, and now you can write this in your little fire square if you want to, is: I draw forth what people have to offer, and my warm encouragement allows them to act on the possibilities. So it sounds like a real fire statement, because fire is about connecting with other people. So this is apparently something to do with our intention with transformation. I'll read that again. I draw forth what people have to offer. I draw forth what people have to offer. This sounds like a question script too. Have to offer, comma, and my warm encouragement allows them to act on their possibilities. It's a lovely statement, and apparently we all like to resonate with it a little more than we do right now, because it will support our shift that we're asking for. And I'll just read that one more time as I check our proxy on that. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Okay, let's say this together. I draw forth what people have to offer. I draw forth what people have to offer. And my warm encouragement allows them to act on their possibilities. Yeah, relax and be neutral. That's it. Okay, so that's that off response I'm expecting. It's kind of a guys off, actually, to be honest. A lot of guys, just first session usually, they're not used to that off thing, and they're just like, oh, am I supposed to do that? But there's still a very clear response. That's what I love about muscle checking. It's still very clear. You're doing perfectly. I don't mean to center you in any way. You're doing really well. Let's thank Roger. You can't see what's going on, so I won't comment. It's perfect. It's just moving slightly, and that's all I need is to read his arm, is to get a clear check. So what we got was an off response, is what we expect. In a session, all the responses will be predictable. You're only going to bring up what you want to change. So you are directing the session, so any statement that comes up, you're ready to shift it. So I know that you're going to be on for something that sounds negative and off for something that sounds positive. Because your energetic system is bringing forward what you're ready for today, not tomorrow or next week or what you'd like to work on, but what you're actually ready for. So let's have a simple check our next statement. Next statement is in the Meridian system. I'm just inquiring in this particular system to see what we have in common that will be part of our shift and part of the information we need. So what we need next is a wood statement. It's fire. An earth statement, okay. So the earth statement needed for everyone in the group, including the proxies, is stomach and spleen statement. So the people that aren't here are still participating. So when I'm checking, they're part of that collective that isn't actually here with us there. And the spleen is on page 88, okay. I find with I can do over 100 repatterings, but I find I work in the Meridian system a lot for some reason. It seems like a very interesting, accessible kind of way to balance people is to find the patterns in this particular part. So the next statement needed for spleen is an emotional quality, okay. Make it coherent. All right. And does everyone have a sit between checks? Just want to make sure. Awesome. Thank you. Explain. Okay, so what I'm getting is I have needs that are not being supported. So if you want, you can put that. It's a non-coherent statement, so it's something we're going to shift. And it must be true on some level for all of us, and I'm sure it's not something that's a pressing problem, but the statement again is I have needs that are not being supported, and they're probably around transformation. That's why this particular statement is coming up through clearing, so that we can be grounded and not have this in the background of what our issues and intentions around transformation are. So we're checking the next one. You don't need to say this with me. I'll just get Roger to represent you. Roger, say I have needs.
I have needs
that are not being supported.
that are not being supported.
Yeah, you can just be arm, just be neutral. That's perfect. Okay. Totally solid, strong arm, no movement like before, which is perfect. Good job, Roger. So what I observed was a difference in the last two checks. The off responses is our move down an inch or two. The on, it was rock solid. And that's usually what it is. People's offs vary in terms of obvious offs. Some people's offs just fall off. Their arm just falls down. Others just have a small off. Nothing to do with guys. I'll take that one. All right, let's have a quick sip, please. One more statement in the Meridian system. We're going to also, again, I'm speaking to all your holograms. I know it feels like I'm talking to your conscious minds, but really I'm treating you as energetic beings and asking your higher self, or whatever you like to call it. I like to call it database because everyone knows what a database is. So the wood, another fire statement. The next statement is optimal for everyone is a water statement. Okay, so that's our third element that we're going to inquire about. The optimal statement for water for everyone in the group is a bladder kidney statement. So page 106. So kidney statement. Kidney, it's a physical quality, emotional, no. Optimal kidney statement for everyone is a mental, it's a spirit level quality. That's good for questers, eh? And it's coherent this time, it's not coherent. It's another coherent statement. The optimal coherent statement for everyone is 1, 2. I live from and express my essence. So again, we're not creating these statements ourselves, they're representing the elements. So this is a statement representing that element of water. I live from and express my essence. So I'm sure a lot of people in this room actually do that. That's my impression. But again, resonance is a little different than having an idea of doing something. When you resonate, so you're going to experience this by the end in terms of this shift in resonance, but that's the level I work with people on resonance. So what is resonance? I think most people have an idea of what it is. When I started doing repatterning 10, 15 years ago, you never heard the word resonance or coherence. They were quantum terms, you didn't really hear them very commonly. And then about 5, 6 years ago, they started entering the vernacular. I started hearing resonance, like perk up and go, resonance? Because Because I've been using that for years, and now you'll hear kids at bus stops going, I don't resonate with that teacher, man. And his teenage friend will go, totally dude, I don't resonate with his ideas at all. And really what they're talking about is a frequency match they don't have with the teacher. And everyone really can understand what they're talking about. That's really the quantum reality that we're all living in. We're just slowly getting used to the idea that we're in a quantum world. Everything's energy, or we're made of energy, everything's made of energy, and energy can shift. And there's no limits and anything's possible. So I just love that word resonance is showing up now and that people know what I'm talking about. And I'm shifting your resonance, it's so great. Okay, we're gonna check the next statement, and you can write it down under the earth square if you haven't already done so. Oh, no, water, I apologize. This is a water statement. Did I say earth? No, it's water. So under that little square where it says water, I live from and express my essence. So we're going to say it together now. I live from and express my essence.
And express my essence.
Okay, good. So that's our off response there. So that's great. Thank you, Roger. Okay, so we'll complete these statements. All right. So what I'm going to just do is for a moment explain what that little relationship is that we got for ourselves. We got fire, earth, and water come up. Fire, earth, and water. Now, if you look at that little star, if everyone has that little star they can see, fire is the supporter of earth, and earth is the supporter of water, but earth actually contains water, so it's a controller of water. If you're not grounded, if you don't have your needs being supported, it's hard to live from and express your essence. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to shift your resonance with the earth statement, I have needs that aren't being supported. Because if you don't do that, it's going to be hard to live from your essence. That's what we got from this group, this information we've got from all of you, is that the ideal thing in terms of the 5 elements, and what we can do to support this shift is to resonate more with the fire statement and the water statement. Because water is going to stay balanced, because fire is going to stay balanced. So the balanced fire statement, I live from and express my essence, is the water statement. So water is like your emotions, your power, depth, clarity, a lot of things that water has. If water is out of balance, it's going to affect your fire element the most, because water is the controller of fire. So in other words, if you're not dealing with your emotions well, you can put your fire out, which is your ability to connect with other people. So we've got a nice statement from water, which is going to energize and strengthen our water element. The fire statement, I draw forth what people have to offer. Another beautiful statement from fire. And then we're going to shift that one about earth, so that it's not getting in the way of those 2 fire-water statements. So that's just a quick thing about the elements there. What we're going to do now is the fun stuff. I'm going to find out how everyone here wants to shift. And this is, again, the part of the quantum reality where I could do one healing modality that might work for everyone, but what I'd like to do instead is what I do is muscle check what would be perfect for everyone, optimal for everyone, even the people that aren't physically with us right now. So what specific frequencies do we need to take in that will help everyone shift their resonance? First statement is the first modality is in this Meridian system now. So I'm going to go into this larger book I have that has hundreds of healing modalities. And this is how I've ended up teaching healing modalities, because after 15 years what I find is there's certain ones that come up all the time, and certain ones that rarely come up. So the ones that have been coming up all the time, I've just started to teach to people, because I'm just noticing, I've done my own informal survey, and like that zip-up one, that's a really good, quick thing to teach people all the time. So I love those ones that are regularly come up for clients, because they just, to me, mean that the collective is ready to learn that and to take that on and to use it. So let's have a quick shift, please. First healing modality that's optimal for everyone is a process, it's a sound. The optimal sound, I just want to find. Tuning forks, optimal tuning fork. Yes, that one, okay. So I've got 8 tuning forks. I've got one for each chakra with me, and then I've got my own one, and what I'm getting is the own one. So that's an easy thing. This is just an ohm tuning fork, so it's lovely. It's set to the frequency of ohm, and all we need to do is say one ohm, 2 ohms. We're just going to do one long ohm once we hear this sound. So just hit all the parts of the ohm at the beginning, hold it, and just do it as long as you can. What I'll do is I'll get you to take a deep breath, and then I'll hit this, and then you'll hear the sound that you're going to make your own to too. Okay, so everyone take a deep breath. wiggle. Beautiful, thank you. So that's our first inhale modality. Thank you very much. All right, let's have a quick sip between checks. Just for this water stuff makes our process fast and accurate. It's really a quick way of muscle checking, and just get you and your client or yourself to just have a quick sip if you're doing any checking. Just clear that channel. Next modality that's optimal for everyone is a process of sound and color. No, a movement, a breath. Okay, the optimal breathing pattern, and I've got 25 here, is 1 to 5, it's 6 to 10. The optimal breathing pattern is masculine, feminine throat. Cleansing breath. Let's stand up for this one. I know this one. Cleansing breath. Okay, I think that might be nice to just look out the window for this one, if you don't mind. Okay. So imagine you're inhaling through the soles of your feet. Feel your breath sweep up your body, moving any constricted energy, and then blow that out your mouth. So let's do that again. Imagine you're inhaling through the soles of your feet. Feel your breath sweep up your body. Inhale, and then exhale through your mouth. And I'll repeat those instructions. Keep going. Inhale through the soles of your feet. Imagine your breath sweep up your body, moving any constricted energy before it, and then blow that out your mouth. Excellent. Keep going. Repeat. Very good. You're doing great. Keep going, please. And that's complete. Excellent. Nicely done. Thank you very much. So we need an additional modalities. And what I'm doing, just so you know, is I'm checking categories of modalities because there's hundreds that I have to check from. So there's sections of them that I'm going through. We need a process next. No. A sound. No. A color. No. A movement of some sort? No. A breathing pattern? No. Well, that just leaves me one category, which is energetic contact, so that's what we're doing next. So the optimal modality next is 1 to 5, it's 6 to 10, it's harmonizing, it's yin, it's yang, it's jinshin. Okay. Jinshin Jitsu. Love this stuff, comes up almost every session, jinshin. Optimal point for everyone in the group is 1 to 5s. I'm just going to get you to have one so I can confirm this, okay? It just always makes me feel like it's completely accurate if you have just that little bit of water. So the jinshin is optimal. 6, 7. Okay. The healing modality I'm going to do with you is number 7s. Number 7s are very powerful, so I think you'll like the effects of this. It'll take us about 5 minutes. So this one's a bit longer than the other modalities. It will take us as quickly as possible. The ideal thing is to do this one with partners. So what I'll explain is that we're going to do a healing modality on each other that involves you touching your partner's toe. You can have socks on, but you have to take your shoes off. So it's the center of your toe, right at the back here. So quickly find a partner. What I find is the easy way to do this is with a couple of chairs or sitting on the floor. If you're uncomfortable doing this, you're proxied into the group and you don't have to do it, okay? What I usually do, if you can find an extra chair, is put a chair between you so you can rest your legs up, and then, or just put your feet up your legs. Okay. What you're actually going to do, oh thank you Mike, you're going to hold your partner's toes for 5 minutes. I know this sounds weird, but you're going to get something amazing out of it. You're going to get victory, perfect life power. That's the frequency of this. Perfect life power. So it's worth getting all set up. So once you're set up, you just touch your partner's toes with your middle fingers. Okay, so just to reiterate again, you're both going to experience this at the same time. That's the idea of you're going to work on your partner's toes. Use the tip of your middle finger, which is the end of your finger, middle finger, on the middle of the back of their toe. Okay? Just just adding a tuning fork to one of our Jinshin 7s on everyone's behalf by putting it into proxy's toe. So if you, Theo is done. Theo is done. Now, you're not though, sorry. Lee.
So does he have to touch my toes or does
Yeah,
he?
you both do it, yeah. So the idea is both, yeah. So you think she's done? So she's complete? She's less than a minute. Okay. Just hang in there. I know it's a bit uncomfortable doing number 7s in terms of the position you have to get into. But just another 2 minutes, if I haven't already told you that you're almost done. And we're just going to recheck our statements after this, so you can just take your seats once you think you're done. So just a few more minutes to wrap up our session, so just have a seat, have a sip of water, and we'll get finished and wrap this up. Okay, so we're going to get started and finish this up now. Thank you for your patience with that. I know that was challenging for everyone. Getting into that position with your partner and holding their toes, it's all kind of weird, I know. But so why again did I make you do that awkward thing was because you wanted to. Again, you were directing me to what specific modalities you needed to shift, and now what we're going to do is confirm that you have. Does anyone feel different? Do you feel a little different? Okay, when you shift resonance, what you're shifting in is the hologram of who you are. So in that big hologram with all these pieces, what happens is that we've changed the energy in a few of those pieces. We've energized the intention that we had created and also the elements that we had identified of the 5 elements. Now we're going to confirm that. If you haven't already done so, can you have a sip of water and uncross your ankles? Okay, now we're back to our problem. So, Roger, say, I sometimes have the fear of change.
I sometimes have the fear of change
And loss.
and loss
And the unknown.
and the unknown.
I can falsely believe that change is hard.
I can
Falsely believe.
falsely believe that change is hard
And I have to compete to survive.
and I have to compete to survive.
And I can find it hard when I make mistakes.
And I find it hard when I make mistakes
And to find new strategies.
and to find new strategies.
Bring your arm up and just be neutral and relax. Okay, good. There's his off response. So that's what we expect at this point, is we're going to get an off instead of an on, and that means we don't resonate. Everyone in the room doesn't resonate with those words you just heard now. They're not going to have the same, those particular challenges we identified are just going to be different for you in some way, and you're welcome to let me know how later. But here's the intention, which is really what's important in this session. This is what you resonate with now, and we're going to confirm that with our proxy too. But let's say it together. I have all the confidence.
I have all the confidence,
Trust and awareness I need
trust and awareness I need
to accept and embrace the changes
to accept and embrace the changes
that arise in my life.
that arise in my life.
I respond with love
I respond with love
and creativity,
and creativity,
and I enjoy more peace
and I enjoy more peace
and joy in my transformations now.
and joy in my transformations now.
Okay. Nice and strong. No wobble, no movement. On. So, beautiful. Yay! Everyone listening to that attention? It'll be more meaningful to you. So if you read that, you don't actually ever have to read it again. When you resonate with something, it's not like an affirmation that you're talking yourself into. You resonate with that. If you didn't quite catch any of that, just talk to me later. I'll be available to talk about, answer any questions or clarify anything you might need. Let's check the fire element next. I draw forth what people have to offer. And my warm encouragement allows them to act on their possibilities. Okay, there's that nice solid on response. So that again has changed and we have shifted and we resonate with that intention now, or I should say you resonate with that intention. Next one, we're checking that non-coherent statement that came up out of the earth element that we needed to clear. Roger, say I have needs.
I have needs
that are not being supported.
that are not being supported.
Okay, good. There's just off response. Yay. That's great. So basically, not true. Yeah, get off. His arm is off, keeps getting a little bigger each time. So, you know, if we were here for a whole session, by the end, his off would be working really well. It's just obvious to me that it's off, but it's part of that first session experience for a lot of people. Okay, last sip of water, last statement. We're checking the coherent water statement. Say, I live from.
I live
From
and express my essence.
and express my essence.
Okay, beautiful. And we're on. Nice and strong. Thank you, Roger. Can we all thank Roger? Roger is basically representing everyone as the proxies, so we can confirm all the information on his arm, and appreciate his participation. Appreciate everyone taking part and having an open mind about this whole thing today. This repatterning stuff may be familiar to you because I'm sure a lot of you are aware of these kinds of principles in action, but it's really quite a simple process and it's very easy to apply to anything in your life. I think I've ended up at this conference because I worked on Sarah Tyson's cat last summer, and it was that traumatized cat that was hiding out to right after the session the cat was hanging out with my dog. And you know, animals want to shift, children want to shift. I just do those sessions by proxy. Just like this was a proxy group session. Individually, anything can shift too. I've worked on everything from, like I said, eyesight and pains and angina and anything physical to mental, emotional stuff things. Even in this code, actually, is a client of mine who was a wonderful artist that did a session on channeling her creativity into one thing. And then I went back to Alberta 6 months later and she had a room full of this stuff. And so every time I go back, I exchange with her now and we're both really happy about that session I did on her channeling her creativity. So if you feel like there's something stuck, you've been seeing other people, it doesn't change, you're tired of something that keeps repeating, even though you're trying to work on it on a conscious level, we can bypass your mind and you can take a couple of big steps through whatever you're working through, because it won't be me that does that. I'll facilitate, like a detective, the information in your hologram, in your quantum field. You'll lead me through what you need to do to shift, and it'll happen by the end of the session. So I'm available for 2 sessions, 2 personal sessions during the conference. I still have room for 2 people, but I do travel extensively as the roving repatterner. So I'm probably coming to your town. I go to Alberta Spring and Fall, so I'm going to Alberta next. I'm going to the coast after this too, so I'll be traveling till about Christmas. I'll hang around and I'm available to answer any questions because I realized we didn't have that much time for that today and I kind of ran through things really quickly. I've got a great website with some testimonials and a video. You're welcome to check out the website. And I really appreciate all the attention and focus and patience everyone had. And thank you for shifting with me today. And there is a handout at the front here if you want my Suki sheet with my information on it. I also have a little booth over there that I'll be at that I can talk to people, answer questions and things. So thank you very much.